It's the same person I am, and I'm very sick and tired of the way that you treat me, the way that you treat the other house guests. I was like, you know what the bottom line is that what I said about not trusting the Donatos and about me waking Kale up, I said it had nothing to do with trying to get you out of the house this week or anything like that. I said what I did was a preventative measure to protect Eric, and I said, and waking up Kale to talk to Danielle was a way to ensure that Zach would get out of this house, and that Kale would that your daughter would keep her word to keeping Kale this week. I go, because as things stand at this point, that's not going to happen.
Obviously, I mean, they had Amber out here for 4 hours, 4.5 hours. I mean, Amber doesn't have a poker face at all. She hasn't spoken to me today. She didn't speak to me yesterday, Every time that she said that she can't with this one anymore, it's the same deal. So I'm sure that's, they're using the Nick card, I'm sure, we're trying to tug at her heartstrings and so on and so forth. And I just, I don't know what to do. I don't want to fight to the death and go crazy, because then it looks like I actually have something that I'm, defending. But if I feel like I roll over and just assume anything, then I'm making a big mistake also. And, I mean, she swore on her daughter's life, and not that, I could never imagine her taking that back. I told you Jamaica stood before me and said, I fought for you, and I would never say your name regardless of anything that's being said. I know that I have you. I mean, but it's like, I see what Kale has been saying for weeks. It feels like people are avoiding me. Like, have you spoken to Jessica? Why was she up at 5 a.m.? Why was she so upset the fact that I was in your room when she woke up? I don't get this.
I didn't talk to her about any of that stuff.
I mean, you spent a lot of time with her yesterday. She's 100% okay. She 100% wants to know. She's like so erratic with me, and like we have an amazing relationship. I really love her dearly, and I believe in her, and I believe in what we will all be doing. At the same time, she came into this house with such a chip on her shoulder that she wasn't going to let a guy, make her look stupid or anything like that or whatever. And I'm telling you, the closer we've become, and then the more they put these ideas in her head, the more cycling through her head is, oh shit, in the very off chance that Dick and Danielle are right, and I'm here cuddling in bed with this guy, and he makes a fool of me, like, I'm not going to let this happen. And I have discussed that with her, and she was like, yeah, that is, like, a legitimate concern or whatever. And I reassured her, and, like, we had some nice conversations about it or whatever. But, I mean, she's stressed, man. She's no coincidence. She said a million times yesterday the reason she'd rather stay in bed than deal with this. She said she was very upset the day that I was put up and the day that you were yelled at. She's up at 5 a.m. today. I mean, the amazing thing is because this is like a very,
Dick and Danielle are pulling on her more than anybody else. They're pulling on her because they know they can't pull at me because of my relationship with you and the fact that, like, I'm clearly just not going to do that. And, they're pulling at her, and that's why she was like, this couldn't have happened on a more convenient day for us to be in bed and be doing this, It's very difficult for her, and I'm sure that she couldn't sleep last night.
But, okay, seriously, Jen and Kale were sleeping, Jamaica and Zach were sleeping. I was not allowed outside. We were talking for 4.5 hours. I was talking to you when you were awake. I went to the diary room, came back, and you guys were both sleeping. So I laid down. You got up, I talked to you. I went to the bathroom. When I came back, you were in the diary room. So I was, so I was laying there because I was wide awake. I was hoping that either you or Amber would come back. I could speak with you. I was hoping that if you weren't going to be there when she woke up, that I, could say, hey, congratulations, you made it 24 hours. I knew the hot tub was kind of out, but okay. And she just seemed sketched out by it, like, well, why are you in here? And I was like, I'm in here because it's just crashing on the floor. Like, it's not like a big fucking deal or anything.
Well, I mean, from an outsider perspective, and if that sort of thing would happen to me, I would have been like, okay, why don't you just go to bed?
Well, that's what I did ultimately do.
Yeah.
That's what she told me to do, but it seemed like she was like pissed about it or something, or like, I don't know, like questioning my intentions or something. And I don't know if it was towards her or towards the vote or towards anything. I don't know what it was.
That, that she understands that you're in like a difficult place, but also at the same time, it's one of those situations where you can't always rely on other people to build you up when you're down. And I think at that point, I mean, she didn't say anything to me, but I'm assuming that she was just like, okay, my need has been exhausted. I'm going to sleep. There's no need for you to be here. Why don't you just go to sleep,